of the state, in Wausau.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I live in Wisconsin's largest city, Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I live on the western border in La Crosse.
My name is Peter, and I live in the northern part of the state, in Ashland. Hi, I'm Curtis, and I live by the Fox River in Green Bay. Katrina, and I live on the Menominee Reservation in Kashina.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I live in Madison, the state capital.
Hi, geographers. It's great to meet you and everyone watching in school around our wonderful state. My name is Liz, and Wisconsin's my home, too. And by the way, yes, you are a geographer, whether you know it yet or not. What does that mean? Well, it means that every day we use geography in a lot of different ways, from locating a store in the mall to finding our way home. Geography is a part of living, which is why it can be so much fun to learn about. So let's get started. What's the most important geographical fact in your life right now? You're a geographer. What's the most important thing to know? Where am I?
Where am I? I'm down by the river. I'm at the mall.
I am in my room.
I'm in the library.
There are many different ways to answer that question, aren't there? And every person's answer is going to be a little bit different. Where am I? Well, right now this is just an empty space in a TV studio. But with a little bit of work, we now have a place we've created, beginning with the space in the TV studio. This place designed especially for exploring Wisconsin, our home. Now, what's one of the most important tools a geographer can have? Here's a clue. It can be very useful in answering that first geography question of where am I? A map is definitely one of the most important objects in a geographer's collection. Do you live by a lake surrounded by a forest? Then it's very possible you are here in northern Wisconsin. Or is your home in the middle of acres of green beans or corn? Then you might be located in this region of central Wisconsin. Or maybe your home is a city next to a very large lake, one of the very biggest in the world. Then you are living somewhere in southeastern Wisconsin. Does it make a difference whether you live in the north, the center, or the southeast? It matters to you, doesn't it? Because if you live here in a city, you're going to be able to do things you wouldn't be able to do here in the northern forest region. And the girl or boy living here has opportunities not available in the city. So it makes a big difference where you live. Imagine how moving from one place to another would change your surroundings, could change how you work and play, who your friends are, and other things about your life. Would that be a little scary? Would it be an adventure? That's why we're going to explore all parts of Wisconsin, our forests, rivers, farms, our neighborhoods and parks, to learn about all the different places and spaces that make up our home. If you had to give someone directions to get to your home, where would you begin? Imagine you are in a spaceship traveling through our galaxy, the Milky Way. You're looking for Wisconsin. How do you find it? First, find a yellow star, a sun at the center of 9 planets, and go 93 million miles toward the 3rd planet. When you pass its moon, there's just 250,000 miles to go. Earth is the blue planet because of its atmosphere. 3/4 of its surface is covered with water. It has 7 continents, and unlike any other planet we know of, it has people. Hundreds of millions of people speaking hundreds of different languages
living in all parts of its land surfaces. About 5 million of them, speaking mainly English but including many other languages too, are found here, halfway between the equator and the North Pole, 45 degrees north latitude and 90 degrees west longitude. Near the center of the continent called North America, you'll find it. Look for the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River, and there it is, our home.
Welcome to Wisconsin. The name Wisconsin comes from an Indian word, Muscusing, or maybe it was Musqueakies. Either way, we can't be sure exactly what it means. One possible meaning is gathering of the waters, or place of red dirt. Another is muskrat house. Personally, I'd rather my name mean gathering of the waters than muskrat house. How about you? Anyway, for hundreds of years, it's had the name Wisconsin, or something pretty close to that. So, what about our shape? Did you ever notice that the shape of Wisconsin is a lot like your hand? Door County is the thumb, and where your wrist starts is Illinois. Where would your neighborhood be? Your hand is a map, probably the simplest map you could have of Wisconsin. Even so, you can still use it to show and tell things about our state, such as where the Fox River is, flowing north this way between the thumb and pointer.
But imagine what maps like these can tell us, giving us so many ways of seeing and learning about the places and people in Wisconsin. Like this one, showing what the surface of Wisconsin is like today, thousands of years after great sheets of ice covered the northern half of the whole continent. You geographers probably already know what those giant ice sheets are called, glaciers, and the time they were here is known as the Ice Age. The glaciers moved over much of North America during the Ice Age and covered most of the land we now call Wisconsin. Imagine what it was like, a mass of ice a half a mile thick moving just a few yards each year, but powerful enough to grind whole forests into mud and gravel, carving out the greatest lakes on earth and changing the path of a great river, the Wisconsin. There is one part of our state where the glaciers did not flow. Here in the southwestern region, the landscape is unique. Maybe you can explore it yourself sometime and find out what all of our state must have looked like hundreds of thousands of years ago, before the Ice Age. But other parts of our state have their special features too. Let's explore them. One way of looking at our land is to see 5 different regions. Which one do you live in? We'll start in the north, where the land is at its highest point above sea level, the Northern Highland. The Highland is where most of our forests are located today, and where you can explore our state's biggest hills, like Rib Mountain. Most of our lakes are here too, thanks to the glaciers. Very few places on Earth have as many lakes so close together. Here in the Highland is where most of the great rivers in Wisconsin get started. The Wisconsin, the Flambeau, the Wolf, the Chippewa. They begin as streams and run downhill in all directions. The Flambeau and Chippewa flow west into the Mississippi, the largest river in North America. The Mississippi forms our western border with Minnesota. The Wisconsin flows south, joins with the Eau Plaine and several other rivers near Wausau, and moves into the Central Sand Plain. In this region, the land is mostly level. Farmers use it to grow vegetable crops such as corn, beans, and peas. Because the soil is sandy, they need the help of giant irrigation equipment to keep their crops healthy. In the Central Sand Plain, the Wisconsin River comes into the Dells, the place made famous by beautiful rock formations created by nature's water erosion over many thousands of years. The Dells are also famous for other sites and activities created in just a few dozen years. Past the Dells, the Wisconsin flows out of the sand plain and into the western upland. This is sometimes called the driftless region because this area was not covered by glaciers. Here the rivers have eroded soil and rock over millions of years, creating a landscape of hills that rise steeply from flat river valleys. Unlike the rest of our state, this region has very few lakes. All the rivers here, like the Wisconsin, flow into the Mississippi and their waters head south to the Gulf of Mexico. On the eastern side of our state, the rivers flow in a different direction. The Wolf, the Fox, the Milwaukee, and many other rivers go east into Green Bay and Lake Michigan, and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. This region is called the Eastern Ridges and Lowlands. Here, the glacier helped to create the beautiful beaches along Lake Michigan, hills, valleys, and many other riches that helped make this region the most populated in our state. The smallest region in Wisconsin, the Lake Superior Lowland, is along the shore of the largest body of water in America. Here the rivers make a quick run down from the highland to the lake. Waterfalls, forests, and the Apostle Islands help to make this region a beautiful place to live and visit. And yet the number of people here is low compared to other regions in Wisconsin. Why? Well, that's something you geographers are going to learn about as we explore Wisconsin in the weeks ahead. The Lake Superior Lowland, the Northern Highland, the Central Sand Plain, the Eastern Ridges and Lowlands, and the Western Upland. 5 different regions, each with their own special features and reasons to explore them, all part of one state, our home. Each place is very different. Each can make you think about different things, can even make you have different feelings. Wausau, Milwaukee, La Crosse, Ashland, Green Bay, Rice Lake, Kashina, and Madison.
Does it make a difference where you are? You be the geographer and you decide. In the next few weeks, we're going to explore Wisconsin together and learn all we can about our home, the Muskrat House. Oops, I mean the gathering of the waters. See you next time.